YouTube. Welcome in. Today we're going to be playing some Traveling at Night. The demo just came out today. And this is the third game in the Secret History setting by Weather Factory. And I've been looking forward to this one for a bit. Yeah, let's just go ahead and hop in. Also, I did just change my audio setup. Obviously, I have a new mic sitting here. It's an old mic that I just set up again. So if you're watching live or watching this back later, let me know how the audio mix is. Who are you, Hollow Man? Antibes, Alps Maritimes, I'm sure I'm butchering that. November 1948, at least as far as anyone can tell anymore. 12 years ago in Krakow, the worms hollowed me out. For the next 3 years, they steered me all around Europe until at last I got away to a place where there was a kind of help. The worms are gone now, but I've only begun to fill up the spaces they left. I was back with the Bureau again when the worms took me, but I still think of myself above all as an exorcist, a writer, a conjurer, or a physician. Career. Spencer has had many careers, but there's one where he felt he belonged. Through the long years of his hollowing in the dark, all his skills decayed, but the ones from that career decayed the slowest. Any other skill can be acquired or increased with experiences later, but increasing a career skill only costs half as much. Not sure exactly where to put the camera. We're here for now. Okay, so career gives us some different passions, or I guess options for passions. I kind of want to just choose based on vibes here. I kind of like the idea, well, I like that there's a cat on Curiosity, so I think I want to choose that one. So we have Physician, well, Compassion's kind of cute too. I like the idea of being a conjurer. I was always good with my hands, and I took that talent to the stage to pay the bills. Eventually, my illusions were sufficiently convincing to draw the attention of the Suppression Bureau. In Europe, since the war, a knack for appearances and disappearances is more than ever. Since 1924, Spencer has intermittently been known to perform as Father Brass. Suppression Bureau, an organization founded in the service to the duties. The Bureau recruited me when I lived in London and again after I left the Legion. Both times it ended badly for both sides. Duties. The mortal and immortal institutions like the Bureau that from time immemorial kept the hidden world from intruding into the everyday. all seems a bit pointless now, really. So we have choices here between curiosity, cynicism, and appetite, and it looks like each one of those is associated with two aspects. Curiosity. There's always something more to know. Passion. Passion. Driving qualities that help you decide your goals. You start with one, you can develop another two. Increase your passion with experiences and they'll add more pips to your aspect pool. Whenever you act with a passion, it'll refresh a pip of every relevant aspect in your pool. But it's simply increasing your passions, and acting with them helps you pass checks on skills that match the passion. People change. That's called character development, trauma, disillusionment, experience. So if your actions recently have drifted another way, you can spend your experiences to evolve one passion into another when you level it up. Experiences can be used to improve existing skills or learn new ones. You'll need experiences that match at least one aspect on the relevant skill. Then our aspect pool, through your signs and passions, you express the fundamental principles underlying all things, which in practical terms means you can spend pips from your pool to force a success on a skill test that you fail. You can only do this with skills that match the aspect points you're using. If your aspect pool is depleted, then acting with the grain of a sign or passion will refresh one or more matching pips. Okay. I'm not going to read through all of the aspects. I mean, these are, pretty familiar. Anyone who's played the Secret Histories games. I'll read the two that Curiosity is going to provide us to start. Knock. The knock permits no seal and no isolation. It is the principle that thrusts us gleefully out of the safety of ignorance. The hour that unsealed and unseamed is uncounted now. Another hour stood at every threshold. Perhaps it persists. Lantern. Lucent intellect, merciless revelation, aureate clarity. Lantern is the principle of the secret place, sometimes called the House of the Sun or the Mansis, and of the light above it. It is corona and gleam now, the west and the east, and the eyes of its hours are closed. Mansis, the house without walls, the house behind the world, which has always been the dwelling place of most of the hours, and the names, many inhuman spirits, and some among the dead. Accessible in dreams to sufficiently knowledgeable mortals, and to very unlucky ones. It is not as it was. When I think of the Mansis, I think first of hours, the secret gods who live behind the world, perilous, sublime, merciless, in suppressing competition. Some rose through the ranks of No and Long and names. Some came by their estate in a different way entirely. Before the wars, the hours made sense of history. Their debates and compromises braided all the possible pasts into a coherent future. Now most hours are uncounted, and history is increasingly open to ontological incoherence or hierophanic sabotage. No are mortals who've answered a dream riddle and entered the manses through the stag door and returned. Otherwise, they probably don't count as mortal anymore. Initiation into the ranks of the know once allowed initiates to learn secrets the hours kept from most mortals. Since the wars, these secrets are often dropped carelessly in the world, like coins in roadside mud. Long. Hours don't dream, long try not to. Mortals who gained immortality through devotion to a principle in service to an hour are called long. Most were formerly counted among the know. Possibly some were never mortal. Few remain. Those with dead or uncounted patron hours are now remortals. Uncounted. Departed, consumed by the cross, imprisoned in hiding, still at war in the sun, for one reason or another not manifesting their natures. Of course, any uncounted hour who isn't dead might return unexpectedly at any time. Remortals are long, whose patrons are dead or uncounted. Their strength ebbs, old age waits for them, if death doesn't find them first. I'm curious what the corona and gleam are. Corona, a golden and novel principle which brings both visionary wisdom and material prosperity. Gleam, the gift the stars brought the ministries, something like lantern, but not. Okay. We have 20 skills, we have 16 skills, 20 points to assign. It looks like this is based on the character choice or the job choice. And it looks like we can only choose from a subset here. Doesn't look like it's necessarily tied to the aspects. But, okay. Spencer's passion provides aspects increasing the chance of success with skills that use those aspects currently. Currently, Nyctodromy, Spivery, Observation, and Ithistry. Okay, so it looks like we can assign up to 7 points into a skill. So let's go through the choices that we have here. We have Charm. I have the knack of being liked, and people who like me will often do things for me. Charm can make lies more plausible and pleas more effective. It's less useful if your listener is hostile, wary, or duty-bound. A worldly skill. Worldly skills are essential in conversation, dealing with people and real situations. They don't need preparation. Failing a charm check adds trace. Trace, a betraying clue. As traces accumulate, as my name gets around, I'm more likely to be recognized. Sometimes this might be good. I won't count on it being good. Spencer can gain traces from truthfully sharing personal information, interacting with the authorities, or simply staying in one place for too long. Sleeping in the same place for one night is safe. Every night after that adds a trace. Traveling to a new city removes traces as long as you don't keep traveling the same route. Okay, and yeah, it looks like each skill has 3 aspects associated with it. Let's look at Ithistry. The art that alters. Alchemy, pyrotechnics, metallurgy. One of the bright arts, used at hearths and in holy places. Ithistry can be used for any alchemy recipe, although at a slightly higher difficulty level than more specialist skills. Failing an Ithistry check adds fascination. I'm not going to go through every keyword here. We'll just kind of look at them as they come up, perhaps. But let's finish reading the skills and then we'll choose how to assign. Stagecraft, Performer's Presence, Legerdemain, and Magician's Tricks. Okay. And I wanted to look at description for bright arts. Those invisible arts that overlap most closely with the secret doctrine of the church, alchemies, meditations, the least strongly prescribed summonings. Bright arts are unworldly skills. They can have otherworldly effects, but they usually need some preparation. Stagecraft, we read. Nyctodromy. Traveling at night is neither faster nor safer. That's why we do it. Christopher Lopley. Knowledge of the ways and byways of the transmundane. One of the night arts, usable at thresholds and wounds. When a Nyctodromy check adds dread. The night arts, those invisible arts considered more shadowy, sinister, or unwise. Night arts are unworldly skills. They can have impressively eerie effects, but they usually need some preparation. Observation. I notice details others don't. Failing an observation check adds weariness. Chivalry. I've hung around with disreputable people doing disreputable things. I might be able to find goods on the black market, and if I had to do something criminal, I'd have a good start. Failing a Spivery check adds trace. Like the idea of adding a little stagecraft, maybe a little spivery, and then I kind of want to, I think some observation might be good, some charm might be good, dealing with investing into the worldly skills a bit, and then I think I want to maybe choose one between Nyctodromy or Ithistry to kind of invest into. Obviously, this is a fresh playthrough for me. I don't know how useful these are yet. I'm just, again, kind of going on vibes here. Do that, and then just go another couple points into the worldly skills. Sign. Scapen sickness, a heart condition. I picked it up at the stag door while I was away. My heart is like a window banging in the storm. Restless, undedicated, unconfinable. When I came back to Europe after the war, my heart told me I should seek out Nina Lagasse, actress, artist, witch. He'll know where I can find the things I need to fill my emptiness again. Nina is notoriously elusive, but I've followed her trail from Alexandria, where they brought me back to Antibes, where I now arrive. And it. Difference of opinion. Too fast to read. Okay. Here. Here. Inventory, we have a deck of playing cards. And equip that. Active items, yours use. But this looks like a typo. But this item is active. Active items work slightly different in traveling at night from equipped items in most games. Mouse over active items header to learn more. Skill modifiers from active items. An active item gives a skill modifier when you have it ready to use. You can keep up to 4 items active, but the modifiers won't sum. Only the best one applies. 4 hammers are not more effective than 1 hammer. Some items are cumbersome, dangerous, or embarrassing and imply negative modifiers. The good news is that because the best modifier always applies, any bonus will cancel out any number of penalties. So if an item gives a negative modifier to a skill, any positive modifier will counteract all negatives. Our deck of playing cards gives +2 Spivery and +2 Stagecraft. 52 Fortunes. And the kind of thing that rattles around in a drawer until one day you really need it. Then we also have some Tanglebrag. A clod of wood, leaves, and feathers that sometimes used to draw the attention of minor names like Knot Wing Knot. Using this item, hello, Bueno. Whatever you're doing, I believe in you. Forgot my headphones though, so I can't listen. That's okay. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It looks like the Tanglewood might be like a consumable. Using this item to help with a successful skill test will consume it. A failed skill test won't consume it. Range of transformation, intoxication, or subversion. Effective as a gift or when used to treat food and drink. Entwine, conjoin, bring together, wed. The sister in which the witch and sister. Obscure, cloak, confuse, deceive. Remedy, bandages, patent medicines, antiseptic, folk cures, witchy tangles, herb mixes. And if we were to equip it, it would give us 2 Stagecraft, +2 Bosk, and +2 Nyctodromy. Also looks like we have some wardrobe options. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but I assume it's perhaps a French word for like morning wear or something like that. When one's suitcase has been confiscated, tailor subverted, or laundry preempted. It is light and louche, appropriate for the most relaxed circumstances like bed. Most people will react disfavorably to a louche outfit, though a few will enjoy it. Then we have our summer frivolity. It is light and raffish, stylish, unconventional, flashy, likely to provoke a positive or negative reaction in most characters. Okay, so we can only change our outfit in the wardrobe area. Spencer Hobson, once called the best-dressed man in the Suppression Bureau, prefers clothes tailored for him personally, not garments haphazardly collected from cupboards. Have new outfits made at tailors and sent on to you, or relocate items from your past. Outfits have aspects which suit them for the right climate, or which provoke positive and negative reactions from NPCs. Don't wear a light outfit in the snow. Don't wear a ravish outfit to speak to a ministry commissar, and don't wear your dressing gown to breakfast. Most outfits also provide small bonuses to skills, unlike bonuses from active items. Outfit bonuses are additive, they always apply on top of other bonuses. Spencer can, or perhaps will, only change his outfit in wardrobe areas, places where he can disrobe discreetly, and might keep a change of clothes. Any room where he sleeps. This is giving us +1 charm, +1 ithistry. Okay, we have a journal. We have a crafting system, cool. Spencer was never really an adept, and the worms took much of his ability from him, but he can prepare tools to achieve a variety of supernatural effects in dialogue. As his unworldly skills increase, he'll be able to create more powerful tools. You can look through Spencer's recipes whenever you like, but to make something, you'll need to find a crafting venue. So let's maybe wait until we find a venue that appropriate. A travel map. The map becomes relevant once Spencer is ready to leave Antibes. Travel from a station to any adjoining city if you have the relevant travel documents. Be careful, repeatedly traversing the same route will inflict traces. So we're starting down here in French state in Antibes. It's so cool that you can go to Randkrug. Which was the setting of Book of Hours. Footnote search. There is never only one history. Okay, cool. So this can bring up I don't know what this is for. I'm not gonna click that just yet. Well, let's just do it for experimentation's sake. The Suppression Bureau, an organization founded in service to the duties. The Bureau recruited me when I lived in London, and again after I left the Legion. Both times it ended badly for both sides. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it looks like we can record an option on some of these footnotes, and it grants experience for given aspect. Okay. And that will... Okay, so... Okay, the experiences we can use, so that gives us like a very minor amount of experience, it looks like, to record a footnote, and we can spend that to improve our passions or our skills, it looks like. And then, yeah, this is all stuff we covered. Okay, and then the sign is also giving us two knock aspect in our pool. Go ahead and read the entry for the stag door. For anyone who hasn't played Cultist Simulator, in that game you can enter the Mantis, and this is one of the locations there. A rigid barrier of blood-streaked horn, huge enough for a ship to pass. It was broken long ago, and even now the scars are not quite healed. Stag Door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. I used to go there in my higher dreams when I was younger, and then again when I was away from the world. I got to know its guardian pretty well. Okay, let's walk around a little bit. I guess I'm really not sure where the best place for my camera is. Hang on. Looks like maybe top right of the screen. We'll figure it out. So it looks like we can just... What we can do is go down here. Oh, okay. So, okay. We could go here and travel if we had travel documents, I assume. The night between cities. Yeah, this is not a place for the camera. Hang on. Maybe over here? The station hall is almost deserted. Not so many visitors to the Riviera in these times. Heart's Desire. Yeah, I came to Antibes for a reason I can't leave yet. They also serve. The headlights burn, the engine rumbles. My eyes on the ground, don't draw attention. In the French state, it's best to avoid the attention of men who keep watch at stations. Go to the long, rattling road. Until and This. Antipoli. A long rattling road from Alexandria to Antibes, through mountain and forest and choking smoke, but here I am at last. I could use a coffee. I was on the train from Milan at dawn before the cafes opened. Nice, welcome to traveling at night. That tiny choice will have a tiny consequence later. In a moment, another tiny choice. Antibes, before war came to the world. The next choice acts with a passion. Choose a passion you possess to refresh pips in your aspect pool. Choose a new one to start on the path to acquiring it. You can have up to 3 passions. But not really, just pick the option that suits you. The game works best when you do that. Antibes. Before the war came to the world, this was the sweet blue eye of the Riviera. Yachts and parties and film star villas. Picasso painted his Pierrots, and here by the sea. With curiosity. Even before I went away, first time in a new city was always exciting. Acted with passion, curiosity, aspect pool recovered, 1 lantern, 1 knock. This gold and gray divided city has suffered, but it's not like anywhere else now. Poor dying Europe is going out in style. We won't usually tell you explicitly which choices act with which passions. We will let you roleplay or guess. The wars and their plagues took the glitter off those golden evenings, left the air dense and villainous. But I have to find Nina Lagasse, and her trail has brought me here. Actress, artist, witch, Nina casts a long shadow. Every adept on the continent knows her name. From the moment I woke in Alexandria, my heart clamored for me to find her. It would take me a while to understand why. Follow Nina to the city of Antibes in the French state, the southern half of divided France. My heart urges me to find her soon. Since I came back to the world, I've learned to listen to my heart. Gained influence, Grail 1. Look for Nina Lagasse until you find her. Why is less important than where. Okay, and then I just noticed we have this condition here, shivering. The wind reaches right through my thin clothing to lay itself against my skin. Change to a warmer outfit or stay inside. -1 to all skill checks. Okay, so... I'm curious what that 1 Grail influence meant. But yeah, it looks like, so we have 2 pips refreshed from choosing a curiosity-based dialogue option. And then, let's read these other 2. Hollow, there used to be more in me. An absence that might be filled with any passion, then scarred. Something's been cut out of me. An optimist would say Europe's still healing. Others would say Europe's taking its time to die. Turn around quickly, double click, run. If you click somewhere distant, Spencer will break into a run anyway, perhaps from sheer enthusiasm, perhaps out of desperation. The rain's only half erased the chalk. The bookshop owner must have relettered it this morning, a determined soul. When you move the cursor over something interactable, it'll highlight, or hold Z to highlight everything interactable on the screen. The Rue Racine is deserted, the rain, a curfew, or some nastier reason. When the bookshop. A welcome warmth. I'm no longer shivering. Elegant ladies preen, elegant gentlemen cavort. More elegant ladies, some pulp westerns, further elegant ladies, blood-drenched tales of Parisian crime, and one more particularly splendid lady with particularly splendid hair. Posters for poetry, newspapers for prose. The bookseller raises her gaze from the newspaper. She looks me up, then down, then up, with careful interest. Good afternoon. You are looking for something? A woman. I regret we only sell books here. Important, I'd heard. Come to Antibes. This Nina, what does she look like? No, I've seen no one like that. Bookshop? It is now. No. Since the war. Skill checks. A choice with the skill icon needs a skill check. An invisible die is rolled. Technically, it's an invisible token being drawn from an invisible bag. Added to your skill level and compared with the difficulty of the skill check. The choice will give you your basic chance of success. Hover your cursor for more details. I'm sorry. Me also. Andre proves and is now very receptive. Do you have... Ask if she has anything by Spencer Hobson. Okay, so let's take a moment to savor this first accomplishment, then look at the experiences you've received. They'll always match the skill you used, but every skill has 3 aspects, so it'll cycle through the aspects in turn. If you don't know what that means, don't worry, it'll all be in the footnotes for later. So this was an eloquence skill check. Okay. She says, I don't think so. Wait, no, I remember that name. Here. We can do moth experiences. Voila. Pilgrim Rose. The only play of mine ever published. It'll happily pulled some strings. It is too mystical for me, and the translation is, I think, quite poor, but the dreams linger with this one. They would. I made unwisely unambiguous references to the invisible world. The Bureau shut down the production on opening night. I was lucky to stay out of prison. Thought they'd pulped every copy. Pardon? How much? The franc. Keys. It is difficult to find this one. I don't think I have any more money. Yes, we do. Large manila envelope. I have my funds tucked away somewhere safe. A bulk manila envelope bulges an inside pocket. Time to open it. 2 passports. Neither qualifies me as a citizen of the French state. My British passport in the name of Spencer Hobson is valid, though the place of birth is false. While my pre-wars French passport in the name of Sylvain Houssier gives my place of birth accurately, but the France that issued it no longer exists, and the passport is long invalid. Traveling funds, mostly Darlanist francisques, plus a few incorporate dollars. And a packet of Bonanza cigarettes. The dollars will be accepted everywhere in Europe, Western Europe. The cigarettes everywhere there is a black market. A single ministry's dolia. And a razor blade. Useful things, razor blade. Now can we buy our play? That play, The Pilgrim Rose. Buy it. Saw this in 37, the year before I went away. The worms gave me what you might call an afternoon off, and I sat in the cinema, watching our heroes cross the border into Switzerland. That's when I started to plan my own escape. Woman bites man, man dies, man fake death, snake bites woman, woman dies, man resurrects woman. A love story. Sturdy, nutritious literature layers glowering beneath a light topping of brightly colored novels about people falling in things, falling off things, or inventing cocktail mixing pianos. The memory that does not die. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, The crackling of the rain is less audible. Even my footsteps are softer. A sign on the shelf reads silence. Craft for a practitioner of hushery or illumination. This place is an opportunity. You found my graveyard. Every book there was written by someone alive when the war began, dead when it ended. Above all, a conjurer run fingers over the autobiography of a stage magician. Smoke ghost. A bright memory stirs. Memory, St. Brazen's Eve, 1924. The books in the graveyard are for display only, not for sale. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, okay. So for hushery, what did it say? It said hushery and illumination. Crafting venues and skills. A clever practitioner might craft a midnight mark with nyctodromy, a subtle one might use hushery, a ruthless one, skolkosophy. For those different approaches, you'll work in different places. Nyctodromy should be used at a wound or threshold, but not at a shadowed place. Hushery can be used at a shadow or quiet place, but not at a wound, and so on. This is why you find the most sinister adepts in graveyards and the least fun ones in churches. Recipe selected. You'll need an ingredient for each open input slot. It has to possess all the aspects below the slot. A flame icon means that the ingredient will be consumed as fuel. If there's no flame, it's a catalyst and you can reuse it. So we could consume some stuff here and potentially... I don't think we could... Doesn't look like we can craft this because we don't have the hushery skill. We could craft it using nyctodromy, but we need to be at an appropriate venue, it looks like. Okay, and then over here, stuff that we have the potential materials to craft with look to be, you know, not shadowed or whatever. Right selected. This is a right. It works the same way as any other recipe, but it'll reduce troubles and provide a small random benefit. Some rights are less safe and may increase other troubles. The description will warn you. Okay, and it looks like it's also, crafting's also gated on skill level, and it looks like our skills can go up to level 20 at least for the purposes of here. Interesting. Okay. Let's go here. Oh, actually, I want to take a look at that memory. Something Eve. Is there like a or something? Oh, okay. Oh, it wasn't a footnote thing, it's actually we get the memory as a resource. Okay, and here's where those Grail influences were going into our inventory. Okay, so of influences, I assume this is stuff that can potentially be used in crafting. Influence Grail, heightened appetite, deepened sensation. Ephemeral, what is ephemeral is only a metaphor. Whenever you travel, each stack of ephemeral items will lose one item. Memories are enduring influences if you want to take influences with you to another city, or if you want to change their aspects, convert them to memories. So we have a memory scar. The wound is visible, the pain is not. Memory of St. Agnes's Eve, 1937. I don't remember much of how it was when the worms were in me. Pain, poison, the bright face of the ragged sword, the sticky thickness of golden blood. I do remember that I was never lonely. The one who put the worms in me had enjoined us to lay waste to Tresigallo, maybe, where they thought the city unbuilt would rise. But the worms had people to eat and scores to settle. Of a lantern influence, every color is brighter, but the brightest colors bleed towards white. We have a memory of St. Brazen's Eve, 1924. I liked the painted knights on the stage for the gasps of the audience and the absence of uncertainty. It still comes back to me when I smell sawdust or stale beer. Every now and every then, I did a very little, real magic. That's probably why the Bureau caught up with me. And we have a scent memory. Green scents recall rain, stronger scents recall the ozone of storms. Let's read The Pilgrim Rose, an unwise play I wrote in London in the 20s. That was the first time I ever ran across the Bureau. They shut down the production on opening night and pulped every copy, or it turns out, almost every copy. Juvenilia is a fancy way of saying everyone gets better. Pilgrim Rose, S. Hobson. Rifle through. Better than I feared, less subtle than I remembered. A many-storied hospital populated by masked eccentricities. Any adept would recognize it as the Mansis. The old woman who masquerades as the pilgrim's mother, her attributes suggest the vagabond. The vagabond, who cannot be exhausted, who cannot be stayed, who tells her story to the willing and the unwilling. The 1 hour who was excluded from the Mansis, though before the war many adepts expected to follow her there as one of seven pilgrims and rise above. One of the aviform hours, she took the shape of a laughing thrush, uncounted now, perhaps. Aviform hours wear the shapes of birds, twin funeral kites, laughing thrush, dove, crow. My heart would add a magpie to their number. The night would suggest a seventh. I'm tempted to choose one of these options just because I'm curious how this footnote system works. So let's do Thief of Sights. Did she carry her artificial eye upwards to the glory? So it looks to be a permanent choice. It gives us some experience, but it seems like kind of a minor-ish amount. Less than you get from interacting with things in the world. I wanted pyrotechnics for the ending. The stage manager overruled me, probably for the best. The inventory, I think we might as well put one of our passports in our active tools. A pre-war passport in the name of Mr. Spencer Hobson. My place of birth is given as Carisham in England. It's a real passport, but the government's changed the law and it might not be valid much longer. The dignity grayed out. I guess because we don't have that skill. Okay. border between autumn and spring, it must be exhausting to be a flower in this world now. So much for public safety. Beyond a prosaic and ragged edge of earth, a gulf blue descending to black. I don't like the idea of leaning over the edge of this wound with a 55% chance of success. Let's look at there's a wound and a door. Skolokosophy and nyctodromy will find uses here. Oh, okay, cool. So the level 1, or the baseline for the crafting skills, we can take influences and turn them into memories. So we have the skill, we're in the correct place, but we don't have wait, do we? So subvert, add an ingredient with aspects influence. The recipe will consume it. Okay, so yeah, we can use one of these knock memories as a catalyst and turn some of these other influences or memories into a knock memory, it looks like. Okay. That's weird. Like a bit of sunlight here from this wound, perhaps. Or just weird. Sweet scents do nothing to sweeten the mood of the woman sitting opposite. Mademoiselle Zelia, autumn is dead, you will remember. What? You are the seigneur? And Zelia, do not ask my family's name. Skills overlap. Sophistication and hutchery might both let you spot forged art. Bosque and preservation are both relevant if you ever need to deliver a baby. Though you might see a dialogue choice with 2 skill icons, in this case you'll automatically use the skill with the best chance of success. Hover over the choice for details about the other one. Lagasse? Oh yes, I know about this Lagasse. When we finished our business, we will speak of her. Being very close to those holes. Wounds. I am not, and there are no holes, and the matter is in any case irrelevant. Okay. Oh, we don't have sophistication, eloquence, or birdsong. We could use our skolacosophy, but we're rolling a 1 in 10. We have no dignity. 0 in a skill halves the possible chance bonus. We could attempt to charm her. We are of a +7, 2 in 20 chance, and she has a bit of a negative opinion of us and doesn't like our clothes. Maybe we'll come back a little later. Message. No, this is none of my business. Why then are you even here? Very wary. Go away, I will not speak with you. Well, okay then. Maybe we should have taken the chance. Another Gulf Bear. Fresh scents, well kept. Shadow of a shadow. You are dead, 1914 to 1919. Dark years and darkness hangs here like smoke. I first wore that. I was a chaplain with the Worcestershires. In different times, I'd never have been attached so young. My memory uncoils, gained my past, St. Leo's Eve, Cambrai, 1919. Gained dread 1. I'm growing uneasy. Trouble. You've gained your first trouble. This happens. Life in post-wars Europe is awful. Fascination, dread, weariness, and pain are reduced by sleep. You'll find somewhere to sleep in Antibes later. Traces will slowly creep up if you sleep in one place too long, but are reduced by traveling. If you let a trouble rise high enough, it'll start causing you problems. See the footnote for the trouble you just gained. Mouse over the icons under your character portrait when you want to see how your troubles are affecting you. You can also see your trouble totals in your inventory. Why the inventory? Because troubles can occasionally be used in crafting. For 1 to 3 dread. This may not end well. Current dread 1, penalties at 4+. So let's look at that. Okay, we have a new memory as well. Dread. Fear has its teeth in my hopes. As dread increases, Spencer will suffer penalties. At dread 10, misery will overwhelm him, ending the game. When Spencer rests, fascination and dread will cancel each other out, but anything left over may cause difficult dreams. Doesn't seem to have any... Let's read this memory. My past, St. Ulio's Eve, Cambrai, 1919. I was the youngest chaplain in the regiment, but Father Schaller had taken me under his wing. And Father Schaller was exorcist in ordinary, and so I became his assistant. In the ashes and churned earth at Cambrai, in the sick and shattered places, it was me they would call to give the viaticum to the dying. When it was feared the dead might struggle up again after, with their bones grinding like glass. The Second Battle of Cambrai, 1919, my first battle where we almost broke through. It hung on a knife edge. Had we broken through, the Great War might have been over a year earlier. The doors will tell you, or the books will tell you, the Germans rallied. But I remember what we found in the church there, and why the Dorsetshires drew back, leaving 10,000 of our own lying dead in the ashes. Learned a great deal that day. Okay. You can evolve an empty passion into any passion you've recently acted with as long as you have enough of the right experiences. You can evolve existing passions too, but only when appropriate. Anger can evolve to honor or ambition, but not compassion or whimsy. Evolving a passion levels it up, and passions can't go above 9. But you can't evolve any passion once it's reached the max. But by the time all 3 passions are at 9, you'll have a very clear idea of who your Spencer is. So we can improve our curiosity with 40 lantern or 40 knock, and then we could evolve it to whimsy for options. And then it appears to be 20 winder or sloth to evolve our hollow to sorrow. Let me get over here. No. Sunlight imported. Lost weariness 1. A moment of peace beneath the swaying leaves, then back to the world. Lost dread 1, pain 1, weariness 1. At 0 dread, my unease has dissipated. Like picnics, the arts unconsidered, bosque, birdsong, preservation do well out in the open air. Unlike picnics, they're safer as a solitary practice. The verdant place. Love the music change. Okay, let's go back up. Really, let's just try talking to this woman again. You refused the travail. Why are you buzzing in my ear again? I'm thinking about the matter, Madame Celia. Smile enigmatically. Okay, we don't have... Interesting. I guess... I mean, it'd be nice if it showed what aspects, but maybe that's just something that you have to kind of internalize over time. Failure has its consolations and its consequences. Spencer gains more experiences from failure than from success. When Spencer fails, he gains a trouble. She squints suspiciously. Gained trace 1, gained 3 Grail experiences. Trace 1, enough to make me a subject of a rumor. You are not the one I called. Zulia came to believe that I wasn't the one she had summoned. Perhaps she was right. Go away, I will not speak with you. Okay. Traces don't apply penalties, but starting at 7, there's a risk of arrest. Let's head back up, and then I'm gonna step away for a couple minutes, take a little break, and then we'll continue forwards. I'll be back in about 5 or 10. I'm gonna refill my water and use the bathroom. Go for a little bit longer. I do need to get something to eat kind of soon. But talk to a few more people perhaps. That looks like a cop. Probably not someone I want to talk to. A church. They've kept this cicatrix under control, but it doesn't look as if it's getting any better. Likely it discolors the wallpaper inside. Residents often develop sympathetic marks of their own. Unclassified category, as they used to say at the office. Dark shapes move beneath the surface, more like spreading stains than fish. Something undefined about the shapes. Are they moving, drifting? They never quite resolve. An acrid odor wafts from the water. Something seeping through. Everywhere leaks now. The Bureau must be overwhelmed. Gained influence knock, gained one dread. This time last winter. The mirror shows a completely different room, a larger shop, in late evening or early twilight. Elder on Janvier. My old premises in Paris, the last summer I was there. The mirror is useless for any practical purpose, but it is difficult now to find a working mirror, and it will help me remember when my wits finally fail me. Poise, the other face of elegance, gaiety. Elegance, the other face of poise. Where the fishes come to knock on it and listen. Weed gray eyes steady behind the spectacle lenses. Come in, welcome. Very long look. You remind me, Monsieur, of a man I knew long ago, before the wars. Hey, it's good to see you again. You knew me as Spencer Hobson. Yes, I did. But it's been 10 years, more. You look very different, but not so very much older. Oh, you know, one does one's best. An unresolved thread, Mr. Hobson. We saw each other last in Paris, when you had recently completed your service with the Legion des Suil. You gave me your uniform to tend and mend. You also ordered a new suit of clothes. On the basis of our long acquaintance, I asked for nothing on account. In these many years, I abandoned the matter of this new suit. I apologize. However, I believe I have your old uniform here in the back. The repairs are complete. A small sum is payable. Not kept, really. The Janviers are dispersed across the continent now. We sold our premises in the Republic just last month. A number of long-abandoned items were sent on to me, fortuitous. We keep a small stock of other goods. Perhaps you'd like to see that, or discuss a commission? Commerce in a divided Europe. Since the war, cash is king, barter is queen, and the black market is the power behind the throne. Every merchant prefers to be paid in their local currency, and they'll only pay out in that currency, but they'll grudgingly accept a range of others. Legitimate state merchants like Janvier, for instance, for the Frankiske, and I'm so bad at some of these pronunciations, I'm sure I'm getting them wrong. But we'll usually accept dollars, sterling, or Swiss francs. Barter currencies like the dollar are more widely accepted, but local politics are important. The state won't accept republic currency, and dollars are unwelcome in ministry's territory. But if you can find a black market merchant, they'll often take all kinds of currency, even cigarettes. Interesting. Let's pay for our old uniform. My old Legion uniform, meticulously mended by the elder Janvier. Cash and king. You can pay in cash, or you can offer items for barter if you have anything the merchant's interested in. But you'll often need to top up with cash. Look at the total in the barter block. Exchange fee. Agio, the fee charged for exchanging currency. Wonderfully, it's derived from the Italian agio, which means after comfort or ease. The merchant is charging a fee for your comfort and ease. Whenever you pay in a non-native currency, a merchant will charge you agio, about 15%, but they'll round down. The garments I recovered from probably more like a Janvier, the tailor that I'd given him to mend long ago. The uniform of a medicine lieutenant of the Legion du Heures, A little faded from the bronze sun of the deep deserts, a little stained faintly by the clinging mud of ghost forests of Indochine. I watched men die wearing this. We now don the Honneur et Humanité outfit at a wardrobe. The stream of water competes against the rain. It's losing. This is the worst photograph never taken by a human being. It could be a boat, it could be a pig, it could be the inside of a pig, it could be the inside of a pig inside a boat, it could in fact be a photograph taken not by a human at all, but by a pig, perhaps from inside another pig. Pompon. But as a draft excluder, perhaps it has promise. One eye widens to gleaming watchfulness. An ear flicks lazily. The animal is essentially inert, monsieur. Expect nothing of him. Uno approves and is now receptive. Monsieur? You have something? I'm looking for a woman named Nina Lagasse. So, order a coffee then. You please, black. Sorry, no coffee. White, red, pasty, chamomile, or I have some bottles left of that incorporate drink. Absolutely no chance of a coffee. I've been desperate for one ever since I got off the train. Awake all night, you see. Well, we do have something, if you're desperate, but I will be honest, it is sock juice. Only a way of saying it is not palatable. It is burnt rice, chicory root, and it is not cheap. You were warned. There is no sugar here. It steams, the smell is something like coffee. It is dark as filthy pond water. The yellow skirl of scum bubbles rotates at its murky heart. Actually, it's not so bad. It's not good, but coiled within the burnt taste and the radishy taste, there is a welcome lurking bitterness. Not unlike coffee. Perhaps she's secretly adulterating real black market coffee. Odd that she was so reluctant. This did taste better than I might expect. Likely there's real coffee in there, heavily adulterated. She needed the money, but she didn't want a stranger to know she's making coffee on the black market. Much better than you suggested, madame. Perhaps you have a secret recipe, but your secret is safe with me. You are a man of refined spirit. The nearest card player calls out in a hoarse stage whisper, "Be careful. No always overcharges foreigners." Monsieur must forgive Aristide's manners. He becomes foolish with his second glass. And this is my third. Well, politely. Where to find a place like this in these times, you must be proud. One does what one can, but there. We were. I remember that you mentioned this Lagasse, but I remember no discussion. Spencer's behavior influences NPC opinions. Sometimes a very high opinion will unlock hidden choices. More rarely, a very low opinion will unlock hidden choices. This once we've made one choice. Below. Candles flicker before the image of a handsome young man in uniform. 3 candles are a solar tradition. Leno is invoking 3 faces of the sun to look kindly upon the departed. The uniform doesn't look French, American perhaps, but the insignia are odd. Felix, my brother? No. We would have been married, Felix and I, in the summer. May he find peace in the silence. You want anything else? Saw strange things over there where the rain ends. You mean the holes in the world? Yes, what are they? Holes in the world. Young, sharp, it'd be better cold, but it's not so bad warm. Please, madame, I've come a very long way to find her. My utmost gratitude. Oh, very well. Close to the station, there is a bookseller, Andre. Yes, an interesting woman. She has another business, quieter even than bookselling. Mention my name to her and perhaps she will help. I said, my utmost gratitude. Thank you, madame. Heaven lift you. Named parts, crowd scene. And here come the authorities. Look sharp, you old bastards. Our carrots are cooked now. Should we call you, Monsieur, the authorities? What alias are you using today to terrorize the innocent working men of Antibes? When does our trace at? 2. I'll give my real name, Spencer Hobson. English. I knew it immediately. A true English gentleman. I apologize, sir, for these savages. If they had better manners, they'd introduce themselves. Aristide is the noisy one. Dare not contradict Madame la Marquise. Leopold is our painter and our nihilist. Song again. Ignore the Duchess. I'm a realist at worst and an existentialist. Jean Bernard is our poet. I'm a poor excuse for a poet at best, sir. But an adequate mechanic. And I am Kilo Melee. D-Day halfway through a draw on his pipe, cough sputters with delight. That's it, lads. Never mind La Marquise. She's the governess now. Can we talk? Of course, please join us. A guest should not come empty-handed. Our Leopold likes his aphorisms like any good nihilist. I'm not a nihilist. You're not nearly as funny as you think you are, Aristide. Who is, my friend? Who is? But listen, Hobson, I prefer this one. A glass in the nose and the tongue loosens. You want me to fetch drinks for you and your friends, to put it bluntly? Yes. Lino knows what you drink. Lino knows everything. Sue, you have returned to pay your bill? Of course. A round of drinks for my new friends over there. Don't forget to overcharge him, Lino. Red for Philomé. Leopold and the idiot like their pasties. And a little of the good cognac for Jean Bernard, 100 francs. For this one, it's best if you pay in advance. And something for Monsieur. Lino adds a drink to the tray and turns away. Is there anything I might want to do with the drinks before I take them over? Nothing more to do here, just take the drinks back over to the poet, the painter, and whatever the other two are. What's this? You prince, how spontaneous of you. Off the glass of white wine, Lino added to the tray for me. Eyes in the eyes. General clinking of classics. I fear I'm no longer just the subject of rumor, but under active surveillance. Stida, Mary, Leopold, wary, Jean Bernard, wistful, Philomele, wry. Adapt myself to the conversation, smile when it's suitable, frantic when it's not. When an in-joke surfaces, make note of it. They begin to relax around me, although Leopold remains watchful. What's everyone talking about? The world. Not the world entire, but what has occurred. Perhaps you've noticed, Spence, that the world is different since the war. The sun is not what it was. Precisely. To name only a single consequence, but a consequence of what? That is what we discuss. To me it is clear, the weapons unleashed by the enemy and against the enemy by the Allies were too terrible. They cracked Europe like the shell of an egg. He stamps a foot for emphasis. Now the cracks spread. Egg leaks until the shell is empty, but to my friends somehow it is not so clear. What do you think? A bit of an odd conversation impression. It seems you're expected to ask what they think, and then you can agree with whoever you like. If we wanted a working continent, we shouldn't have been firing fungus at each other. Hear that, lads? Democracy in action. This is the state, Aristide. Exactly. We had an election. Not only an election, but a select and refined election. Free of Aryans and unpatriots. Republican distillate, my friends, like wine to cognac. Oh, the cognac is perhaps a little rough on the throat. Perhaps the hangover is... coughs gently. She takes care not to look in my direction. Heard this one yet? A Crucian walks into a bar in Berlin, and then she says, "But why lamb?" Crucian, the heresy of choice in the New World where dissenters fled the church's light. Iconography includes doves, lambs, and the Crucian form on which they assert the shepherd illuminate was executed by the Roman authorities empty to symbolize his illumination and ascent. Table-pounding chortles from Aristide, a wicked giggle from Philomele, an unexpectedly falsetto titter from Jean Bernard. Even Leopold allows himself a thin smile. Looking for Nina Lagasse. Yes, yes. Ask Andre at the Librarie du Heures. Why so forgetful? No more wine for Spence. Until next time. With our money. I guess let's go back to the... Let's check out this crack, and then we'll go back to the bookshop. Beyond a prosaic and ragged edge. Yeah, same option as the other ones. Did try looking down it at some point. The bookseller raises her gaze from the newspaper. Hello again. Lino from the cafe suggested I talk to you. She told me you have a quieter business even than booksell. Lino said that, did she? Alright. Lino's name is good to hear. What did you have in mind? Information. Spoke earlier about a woman named Nina Lagasse. Well, Lynn, I didn't tell you everything before. Just a week ago, she was standing where you are now, asking her own questions. She wasn't as friendly, though. You know where she went? Fortunately, in my line of work, it pays to show an interest in the comings and goings of strangers. We say a favor for a favor. I suppose we can, but we keep strict accounts at the Librarie du Heures. De Heures? That up real quick. Librarie du Heures. Yeah, it's like that Library of Hours. Okay. Lagasse was seen entering the Sanitorium Aujourd'hui in the Cap Antibes, just past the park. Should be careful. The residents of the Sanitorium are not like the rest of us, and this Lagasse, she is nothing at all like the rest of us. Mademoiselle, I am invariably careful. I should follow her to the Sanitorium then. Thank you. That down here. No, maybe. Sure. I thought this might be the park, but maybe it's further in the town. Bright water in the Riviera sun. There's plashery afoot. Ronald Grace whispers from the stone, and a corporate has marked this place. Unfamiliar model of Peugeot, scrupulously clean and empty as a showroom model. One of those daft little Citronas one sees everywhere now. In the back seat, an umbrella with a striking black-white plaid pattern. Stately gleaming Citroen. The Bureau used this model back before the war. A fine lamb's Wool scarf lies crumpled on the passenger seat. Okay, I think I might do some of the initial interactions in here, and then probably call it there. Try to find a good stopping point. Deadeningly tasteful, visibly expensive, so that's how it is here. Hermione von Wiegand. The nuptial form, 1947, oil canvas. An abstract in vivid colors. How it brings Nina Lagasse to mind. An abstract in vivid colors. And Sentinel. Mathis. A large blonde gentleman in orderly's whites blocks the hallway, listening to a portable radio. He raises his eyes to regard me without enthusiasm. Lambent brass and black bakelite, shiny as a beetle's carapace. A handsome bit of kit and remarkably portable. Less than 2 feet across, it's branded with a crown and the words Zenith Transoceanic. That's incorporate manufacturer. Let me read that. On incorporates again. The touch of Corona reliably destroys individuals, but it can be safely manifested through a corporation with suitable sacred founding documents, whose officers and representatives are visibly exalted. The United States are now, in some senses, the incorporate states. An American import, there can't be many of those in France, either the state or the republic. Blonde man is watching me impatiently. What is it you wanted? I'm looking for Nina Lagasse. Lagasse, of course. He makes an impression. Mademoiselle Lagasse. But now she is gone. I've learned that Nina Lagasse has left the sanatorium. Someone here will know where she went. The director might know. I do not. This is not a library. It is not a bureau of information. Please, sponsor, I'm sorry to be a nuisance, but I really only need a moment of his time, and I don't want to waste any more of yours. The man softens just a little. It is, after all, a golden kind of afternoon. The director is in his office over there by the stairs. Afterwards. The director is a man in distinguished middle age with a look of sleek intelligence. His hair, his nails, his smile are all extremely clean. Dr. Aubier. Spencer Hobson. What a fortunate and delightful honor. I am Dr. Aubier. You are very welcome to my little institution. I'm Hobson. The honor is mine, Dr. Aubier. Not at all. I do hope I may be of some assistance. So, I am looking for a former patient of yours, Nina Lagasse. May I ask what is your interest? I know in my heart that I need to find her. You must understand, an alienist, a physician of the psychic organs, I would prefer to say psychiatrist, if you are familiar with the term, is in some respects, and only in these respects, like an adept of the invisible arts. It is a grave responsibility, M. Hobson, to be a healer of minds just as it is an adept, especially minds so exceptional as those of our patients. In that, I am the holder, the keeper, the guardian of certain information not shared with the wider public. That includes any information I might have on Mademoiselle Lagasse's whereabouts. There's nothing you can tell me. I've come a long way to find her. Well, certain privileges are afforded to me by our patrons. I would very much like to employ those privileges to your benefit. Very kind of you, Dr. Aubier. I hope I can return your kindness in some way. I propose an arrangement. I have in my desk a certain box which has resisted my efforts to open it. Before your so mysterious disappearance, you were, I understand, good with locks, seals, safeguards of that kind. The doctor bends over in his chair to poke around in a drawer at the base of his desk. For a few seconds, he bends low enough that his head is beneath the level of the desktop. Sunlight folds itself tidily across the desk, softened by the glass of the window. The softened color of it takes me back. Just so, the Cornish sunlight folded itself across the desk in the Westcott room, where Serena would wait to question me after my visits to the infirmary. Aubier is a little like Serena, velvet surface, but under pressure, hard as oak. Interesting. Can we interact with our inventory during a conversation? No, it doesn't look like it. Here, do you know what is a pyx? He's holding a circular box the size of a small cake tin. A worn silver gilt dove sits atop it. A vessel to carry the consecrated host to those too ill to attend church. Just so. This is perhaps a very old pyx, one source has it, a reliquary, with a relic, perhaps, of Saint Galileo himself. In any case, it has proven difficult to open. I am reluctant to damage it. If I were to open that box for you, then you'll tell me where I can find Nina? Precisely so. The box is heavy, cold to the touch. One quartz crystal eye flashes in the Antibes sunlight. The dove's other eye is missing. Nothing, though my fingers linger on the details of the feathers. This was shaped with love. Over steepled fingers, Aubier watches. Dove. There's an hour named Elegiast, the ivory dove he's called. Elegiast. I am not especially familiar with these esoteric doctrines. From whom nothing more can be taken, who cannot be deceived, who calls the dead by name, sometimes called the ivory dove, not the kindest of the aviform hours, but never cruel. He always remembered what the world forgets. Long who ascended under the Elgiast have been called ghouls. This isn't very nice, but they do in fact break open graves to feast on the memories of dead flesh. In the Hour of Secrets, he knows the names of all the dead. I wonder what secret this box contains, The chill of the metal is more clearly perceptible. There is no taste except the dust of an object kept for some time in a doctor's desk. So, okay. We failed by 3. You can try to force a success by using any points in your aspect pool that match the skill aspects. You got enough, click to assign them, then succeed. Latin, scratched, not engraved on the base. The scratches have worn so thin that had I not turned it to reflect the sunlight, I wouldn't have seen it at all. Ecce praesensum rosarum. With a neutral interpretation, behold a presentiment of roses. Not a phrase I've heard in any liturgical or theological context. Fingers, off your watches. With almost no pressure, the lid pops easily and unceremoniously out. The box is open, inside a little white ceramic jar. Javier's mouth is also open. Remarkable. Javier cracks open a new notebook, clicks a clean chrome ballpoint pen, and excitedly jots down a new note. Seems surprised, Doctor. Yes, I must confess that I am. I had hoped that you would be able to open the box. I did not expect you to succeed so anticlimactically. Javier stops writing. He purses his mouth thoughtfully. I apologize most sincerely, Mr. Watson. Monsieur Hospital. I have reconsidered. I think it would be therapeutically unhelpful for me to tell you where to find Mademoiselle Agasse. I am disappointed in you. Javier, I do understand that, and I hope I can only repeat my apology. My revised proposal is this. You remain as my guest for a few days so that I can satisfy my concerns. My concerns about your well-being. Your medical history is extraordinary, you must know that. We have already prepared Madame Lagasse's room for a new guest. You'll find it upstairs. So, among other things. Oh, no. Our incorporate patrons have files, which I have been privileged to see, but I have no file on you. Although most certainly I will now open a file of my own. Leave? Good heavens, Monsieur Hobson. Then you can leave, of course, at any time. I would in any case find it very difficult to restrict your movements. Oh, not so very long. I would not expect so long as a week, but I must make my assessment. Read me or study me. An old friend of mine would say, why only one, why only two? Full sunlight in this room, but I can almost hear night. The night would say, stay here and you might win this man's cooperation, or you might find another way. You might not need his cooperations. I'll stay here for the moment, and perhaps we'll talk again. Thank you, Monsieur Hobson. I could in all candor ask for nothing more, except perhaps my box. May I please have my box back? Javier declares he will tell me where to find Nino Vasse if I stay a few days at the Sanitorium. Hi, Mr. Hobbs. For now, Monsieur Hobson, I hope you will speak to our other guests. I'm interested to learn what you all make of each other. What are my options? Coercion, night work, the other kind of night work. At night, when Javier is gone from his office, I might be able to locate his records. Blackmail, perhaps, if I can sniff out his secrets. The right tools or the right assistants. Dreams might be open to me. Mansus has fallen, but we still dream. Dr. Javier must go to somewhere to dream. A sufficiently skilled nyctodromist might follow him there, or perhaps there's another way. I could just cooperate with the man, and as he suggested, and hope to win him around eventually. That for a game of soldiers. What are my options? That's everything I might consider doing. Let's explore the sanitarium. Alright. I think that might be a good place to stop for now. If you've tuned in or you're watching this back later, thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind leaving a follow or a like, would help out with visibility. I am trying to stream a little bit more consistently, but we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go grab some food. I may be back later this evening to stream some more of this playthrough. If not this evening, then most likely tomorrow. Again, thanks for watching, and good night.